want to see the David fight. I think David is a heavyweight, and I think David's legacy is he actually needs to move up. And Usyk would be like the fight that would like give him the type of recognition that he needs. He needs to stop trying to suck down and beat up on smaller men. His legacy is a heavyweight. Crawford, he can do whatever he wants now. If he wanted to retire, he can do that. And if he wanted to just pick easy fights to pad the stats some more, he can do that too. We already know that Charlo's probably wouldn't stand a chance against him. Nobody else who's a big name at 160 or whatever. He don't need to go back down no more. That's a waste of time. And it's also bad on his body too. We saw what happened to
When reporters asked about Terence Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez spoke directly and did not hold back with his response.
David, Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo.
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at one.
The WBC light heavyweight champion summed up Crawford's performance in 4 simple words that many fans quickly agreed described it perfectly. Crawford's rise into boxing history was nothing short of incredible, proving that the fighter from Omaha now belongs among the greatest of all time. Earlier this month, Crawford stepped into the ring with Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, and many doubted that moving up several weight divisions would be too much for him. Instead, he shocked the boxing world by defeating Canelo and claiming the Undisputed Super Middleweight Championship. The fight took place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and when it ended, the judges sided with Crawford, giving him the victory with scores of 115 to 113, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his difference. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
Crawford pushed a fast tempo from the opening round, and Canelo struggled to keep up. This result was not just another win, it marked a historic moment in boxing. Crawford became the first male fighter to secure undisputed championships in 3 different weight divisions, strengthening his legacy. At 37, the Omaha star delivered what many consider the finest performance of his career. David Benavidez, who has built his own reputation as an undefeated world champion, made it clear that Crawford deserves a place in the discussion of boxing greatness. Crawford's ability to climb through multiple weight divisions while defeating one of the most dominant fighters of this era stands as something rarely seen in the sport. Benavidez pointed out that moving from the welterweight division at 147 pounds to super middleweight and then capturing every major title there is almost unheard of. He congratulated Terence Crawford and said that only a few fighters in boxing history have achieved what he has. According to Benavidez, Crawford now belongs among the greatest ever. He explained that not only did Crawford move up 3 divisions, but he also beat one of the best fighters of his time. He added that he cannot remember anyone starting at 147 pounds and later winning the super middleweight world title. He also said that beyond skill, the fight showed the heart and toughness that Crawford carries in the ring.
Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't.
Many people believe Crawford has already achieved the biggest win of his career and one of the most important victories the sport has ever seen. Because of that, some feel he does not need to take another dangerous challenge. The concern is that after reaching such a massive achievement, it would be unfortunate to see his career end with a poor decision or a fight that never should have happened. Some even say they would not take that risk themselves. Crawford's victory also crowned him champion across 5 weight divisions. Right after the fight discussion about his next step began, some believe he could move back down to middleweight and challenge Janibek Alimkhanuly, who currently holds a unified WBO and IBF titles. If Crawford were to win that bout, he would be competing for a championship in a 6th weight division, something almost unimaginable for most fighters. At the same time, Canelo Alvarez now faces a major decision. The 35-year-old from Guadalajara is expected to return in early 2026 after agreeing to a 4-fight deal. But many fans and analysts are wondering if retirement might be the smarter path. Losing his undisputed title to Crawford has sparked debate about whether his reign at the top of boxing has finally come to an end.
Fighting, but you avoid the monster. You understand me? That's going to tank the rest of his career if he keep trying to fight. Well, it's tough to say because he's made enough money that he can retire. He really has nothing else to prove. We saw him go up. He did but he tested himself all the way up as far as he could go. He won the light heavyweight title, then he lost to B-Ball. So that shows that the light heavyweight was his ceiling. And that's good enough. Really, right now, he got nothing else to prove. You know, I mean, of course, if you keep fighting, people go demand you fight the monster because both you guys are Mexican. But to me, you probably shouldn't do that. You understand me? That's probably not a good fight for you at this point, for real.
That as Crawford enjoyed the moment of his historic when more analysts shared their views on the fight, Hall of Famer James Toney spoke very openly about how Saul Canelo Alvarez performed. He did not see the contest as close or even a solid loss. In his view, Canelo was completely outmatched. The Mexican champion was not just defeated Terence Crawford controlled the fight with sharp attacks and constant pressure that broke him down round after round. It was a harsh result for a fighter who had once looked unbeatable in the super middleweight division.
Not only did he lose him, he got destroyed basically. Took it apart.
Do you feel like he's gonna want that back? Do you feel like
if he's a true fighter, a true champion, he gonna want it back and train twice as hard and do what it takes to get the job done. Basically, that's what comes down to right there. 100%.
James Toney made those comments while talk of a possible rematch between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford began spreading. Some believe Canelo may push for another fight soon, especially after the World Boxing Council placed him again as the #1 contender at 168 pounds. If he moves forward with that plan, Canelo would be chasing the chance to become undisputed champion for a 3rd time, which is something very few fighters have ever achieved. While Toney focused on Canelo's lost former light heavyweight champion Sergei Kovalev shared his view about Crawford's future. Kovalev, who once fought Canelo, believes only one opponent could truly challenge Crawford, and that is Dmitry Bivol. Bivol recently reached his goal of becoming undisputed at light heavyweight after defeating Artur Beterbiev earlier this year, and Kovalev sees him as the most dangerous matchup for Crawford. He explained that Bivol's style could create problems, but Crawford's last fight proved he can adapt to any weight class and any opponent, which is why that matchup would be very interesting to watch.
Questions. Crawford, Spence. I know you watched the fight and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing, you know?
Really?
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound #1?
Yeah, probably he is now because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
it's crazy.
He's a good.
While Sergei Kovalev was discussing possible opponents for Terence Crawford, another well-known voice entered the conversation on a different topic. Oscar de la Hoya shared his view on whether Crawford could be ranked above Floyd Mayweather Jr. The debate started after Saul Canelo Alvarez suggested that Crawford might now be greater than Mayweather, but de la Hoya strongly disagreed. He argued that Mayweather was clearly the better fighter and pointed back to the night when Mayweather faced Canelo and dominated the younger Mexican star. According to de la Hoya, Mayweather barely took a clean punch during that fight and controlled the action with remarkable technical ability. He added that while Crawford can be very aggressive, Mayweather's skill and precision operated on an entirely different level.
Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in the fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, you literally toyed with him. You didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better.
This discussion brought back one of boxing's most popular debates, the question of greatness. Across different eras, Floyd Mayweather Jr. built his legacy on elite defense, sharp strategy, and an undefeated career. While capturing titles in 5 divisions, Terence Crawford shaped his path through versatility, toughness, and his ability to control fights in multiple weight classes. The argument about who truly stands higher may never have a clear answer, but it shows how remarkable Crawford's journey in the sport has become.
Out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era.
Even while the debate about greatness continues, attention also turned toward the future of Floyd Mayweather Jr., who stepped away from professional boxing in 2017 after defeating Conor McGregor, but has never fully separated himself from the sport. Boxing analyst Dan Rafael shared his thoughts, saying that if Mayweather ever fought again, it likely would not be against elite competition. Instead, he expects Mayweather would choose safer opponents to protect his perfect 50 wins and 0 losses. Record Rafael said he had little interest in seeing the legend return for fights outside his prime or exhibition-style events. He also dismissed the idea of another bout with Manny Pacquiao, saying it would not be exciting. Many fans supported that opinion, believing Mayweather's legacy should stand on the achievements he already secured rather than late career comebacks.
Obviously, is that Manny was out of the ring for a lot less time than Floyd Mayweather was. That's significant. I mean, I hope this doesn't lead to some stupid discussion of doing a rematch between Floyd and Manny, because that I have like literally less than 0 interest in that.
I remember what you said. I think I can't remember the words you said, but you said you'd rather set your fight than watch that.
Exactly. I mean, I would say right now it's idle talk, and Floyd sort of like you know, spitball and seeing what's out there. You know, and this whole thing they announced with this Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather exhibition bout, the way that was announced was very clear to me that, you know, they may have signed to do the fight, but it's contingent on them actually having a platform on which to do it that will pay them money. And I don't think they have a deal yet for anybody to show it. So it's still a matter of if that actually will take place. So I'll believe it when I see it. And frankly, I don't see there being a lot of interest in that. Not because they're not 2 incredible names and 2 all-time legends and 2 great fighters and, you know, have tremendous amount of fans and history in the sport. But we all know what Tyson's got left, and that's absolutely nothing. If they announced Mayweather versus Tyson before we saw Tyson get completely exposed by Jake Paul, I could understand there being interest. But he went in the ring with Jake Paul and had 8 rounds where he couldn't do anything. I know that was technically an official fight, so what makes you think he can do anything against a Floyd Mayweather even 8 years in a
Right now, the spotlight on Terence Crawford has only grown stronger after his dominant win over Saul Canelo Alvarez, and he could soon step into even greater history. His journey has become one of the biggest storylines in boxing. Whether he decides to chase success at middleweight, think about a challenge against Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight, or remain at super middleweight, he has already proven that he can adjust to any challenge. In contrast, Canelo now faces major choices about his own legacy. He must decide if he will rebuild at 168 pounds push for a rematch with Crawford or step away from the sport after years of dominance. For a fighter who has achieved so much, the decision about continuing his career may carry as much weight as any fight itself.
Canelo retired. I don't think he will, though. He's got a multi-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's a lot of money on the table, and he's a proud champion. So I could understand him not wanting to end on that note. But you can see Canelo getting older, and I'm not just talking about ring. I mean, you can see it in his face. You know, for the Netflix special behind the scenes, you kind of see the age. You see the wear and tear. The man has been fighting as a professional since he was 15 years old.
20 years.
He's got over. Yeah, it's a long time to be getting hit with 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves, even if you take it well. And oftentimes the guys that take it well, they show it more because I'm absorbing a lot of shots and you giving me praise for absorbing them shots, but them shots take a toll. I don't know how much longer he should keep fighting, and it's not because he can't fight anymore. Still one of the best fighters in the world, but you get into the hunger conversation. You get into the total punishment that you got to add that stuff up. When you start getting older, like, okay, man, you know, do I still need to do this? He doesn't need to do it other than just his love for it, because his mantra is no boxing, no life. So I don't know if he's going to be able to walk away right now. His legacy is secure. I think he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters that has ever done it. I think he's in the great category and conversation. We can break down the resume another day, but I think that given the way that he fought and given the way that he bowed out, I think you just got to just leave it right there, give him his respect. I would like to see him maybe take one or two more and call it a day, go enjoy the fruits of his labor.
From Benavidez's glowing praise to Tony's blunt critique, from Kovalev's cautious analysis to De La Hoya's bold comparison and Rafael's doubts about Mayweather Terence, Crawford's historic performance sparked a wave of reactions across the boxing world. Each perspective revealed a different angle of the story, showing a sport in change, with established stars being tested and new legends emerging. Crawford became the central figure in it all. Once criticized for facing lesser opponents, he is now recognized as one of the greatest fighters of his era. Every weight class he conquered and every champion he beat has solidified his place in boxing history. The only remaining question is how far he is willing to go.